The Tom London Show is brought to you by Suzuki Rivonia, the home of happy customers.
The Tom London Show.
Yeah! It is.
I feel good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
One more.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank you very much.
for joining me this afternoon. I'm live out of the Africa Mobile Studios. The show is brought to you by Suzuki Rivonia, the home of happy customers, and the caffeine in my bloodstream is provided by Wissenhof. Kubis! Kubis!
Thank you very much.
I feel good. Dit brew lekker, ja. Is nice. I hope you're doing well. I hope life is treating you well. What did you do on Valentine's Day? I think that's going to be my first question today. What did you get up to on Saturday? I'll reveal all. I'll tell you all about my Valentine's Day if you tell me about your Valentine's Day. So we're doing that in just a little bit. We'll see who's first up to say hello today. We'll get to the Tom's Army. And I'll be asking you to help today. One of our viewers is in trouble. And I'd like to help her out. And I think together, if we all just put a little bit, we can make a big difference. So that's what I'm hoping we can do on the show today, that we can help someone. And then, I don't know about you, I don't know how many people actually watch the Winter Olympics. But I watch the figure skating. I love figure skating. And there was big drama in the men's free skate segment of the figure skating in the Winter Olympics. Big drama. I'll tell you all about that. And then I found a lovely video of some guys pulling down a tree and it didn't quite work, which is always fun to watch. And then I've got one or two things we can discuss this afternoon, and also what's on your mind. So first question to you today, and we'll just line this up quickly. We'll get to the answers in a little while. First question today is, what did you do on Valentine's Day? Tell me. What did you get up to on Valentine's Day? I want to know. Alistair Jameson's already saying Valentine's Day, question mark. We know you probably didn't get up to anything on Valentine's Day. But perhaps you did. Perhaps someone in your life made the day very special for you. If so, share it. Share the secrets. Tell us what happened. Did you go on a Valentine's Day date? Did you have a Valentine's Day date? What did you do on Valentine's Day? I'll tell you what I did on Valentine's Day. But yeah, I want your stories first. So your comments in the comment section, that's where Tom's Army hangs out in the Facebook feed. If you're watching us on YouTube, welcome to the show. Today we're going to try and help someone. It's been a while. I think the last person we helped on the show, I do help people, I say every week or two with medical stuff, but I'm able to help behind the scenes a lot of the time. I'm able to say, listen, just go tell them that if they don't fix it, Tom London is going to start looking at it, and then they fix it quickly. So I do try as much as I can behind the scenes to help people with medical problems. I'm just looking at one of the comments that came in on YouTube. It's very funny. I can't put it on screen. But thank you. I enjoyed that one. I would like to. Shall we do who's on board quickly? Let's do that quickly. We'll just say hello to everyone and see who's here. Helen Mittwach is on board. Nikki Hart says, hey, and a hug. Hello, Nikki. Rosie Brown is on board. Margaret Guido, one half of the Guido counters, is on board. Somebody's already pressed the heart button. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you very much.
And Patsy Redlinghase says, afternoon dysfunctional family. Nikki Hart says, like the bearded man. I've just been lazy for a week. I've been like, I'm not shaving. But I will soon. Alistair Jameson says, Valentine's Day? Nikki Hart says, hope everyone is doing well. Marlene Falkenberg is on board. Alistair wants to know why the internet is so spotty at the moment. I've noticed that, but hopefully we'll get through the show today without any problems. Helen says, I'm pleading the fifth about Valentine's Day. Oh, so it was a successful Valentine's Day. Nikki Hart says, nothing happened on Valentine's Day. Nothing happened to Alistair on Valentine's Day. Heather says, hello, all my dysfunctional friends. I'm in Uitenhage at the moment. Leave for Kenton on Thursday. Tom, I must tell you it was Margaret Guider that I teased you about last week. Oh, okay. Wendy Kutsia says, hello, everyone. Hello, Wendy. Good to have you on board. Marlene Falkenberg says, I just got a lovely message. Nothing happened. He was working. Well, that's nice. You were thought of. someone sent you a message. What a joke Valentine's Day was. My spa shopping trolley and myself made a good pair. Mandy Wilson says, good afternoon. And Rosie Brown says, I don't kiss and tell. So we know she was kissing someone on Valentine's Day. And Henrietta Cortez says hello from Denmark. And more people will join us. And as you join us, say hello in the comment section. And Tom's Army will make friends with you. You've got a friend in Tom's Army in the comment section today. We need to help two people on the show today. One is Annette Jacobs, who is a regular viewer on the show. You'll know Annette from her comments in the comment section. Annette's granddaughter, Nanette, is not doing very well at the moment. Not doing very well at all. And I chatted to Annette yesterday, and she was saying, please, Tom, please pray for my granddaughter. And I said, of course I will. And I'll also ask Tom's Army to pray for Nanette, Annette Jacobs' little granddaughter, who is seriously ill right now. So we send all our prayers and good wishes to Annette and her family and hope that her granddaughter recovers soon. And if you're the praying type, then please add little Nanette, Annette's granddaughter, to the equation. I don't know how to say this. I can only say it the way it sits in me. I get a lot of requests for help. A lot. Like as we sit here, there will be a couple coming in while we sit in here. So I realized a year ago that I'm never going to be able to help everyone. It's so disheartening when you want to help everybody and you realize you can't. But I thought, well, where I can, and how do you handle that? If you've got 200 messages coming in, which one do you pick? Because when you answer everyone, then you're obliged to start thinking about how to help. It just becomes a mess. So I've got this thing where I go, well, you know what? God will point them out to me, the people who, and for some reason, like a message will come through and I think, yeah, that's the one. Now, I don't know. It might just be absolute, hot, what do you call it? Potluck or whatever, that I press a particular message. But I believe I've been drawn to that particular person for a reason. And I saw a message come in yesterday from a viewer, one of our regular viewers, although she doesn't comment in the comment section, but she watches the show. She watches every show. And I got a voice note from her, which I've got permission to play. So I'm going to play the voice note for you. And then I'm just going to explain the situation a little bit because, when people ask for help, I've got to fact check. I've got to check that they're real. I've got to check that they are in the situation they're in, and then try and figure out how we can help. So I'll get to some questions just now as people are asking me what my favorite movie is. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But I got this voice note and I listened to it and I thought, wow, this lady needs our help. She doesn't sound like she's in a good situation at all. And I called her and I had a long chat to her this morning to find out what the circumstances are and if it would be possible for us to help her in any way. I'll give you some details without going into too much detail. I have asked her to change her name because A, of the embarrassment of having to ask for help, and then B, there are circumstances in her past and around her with former husbands, I don't know, whatever, family, people, that she just doesn't want, she doesn't want them to know that she's asking for help. So it made it a little tricky this morning. I thought, well, let's put you on video, but then I thought, there's a fine line, when someone's asking for help. When I make the decision to say, right, go live on the show with me, I've got to think of their well-being as well. And when it's a medical issue, it's not difficult because it's life and death. And well, let's go for it. What have we got to lose? But in this case, it's a financial issue, and it becomes a little trickier. So I made the decision because she was willing to come on the show and be on video with us today. But I thought that would be pushing her a little bit too far. So instead, I made a phone call and I said, just send a voice note through, change your name. I'd already received a voice note from her, so I said, just do it again, change your name so that people can't identify you. But I know who she is. And if we manage to raise a little bit of money to help her, then I will go to her and deliver the vouchers or whatever we manage to scrape together today. And we'll make a video or something, but we'll blur her face out so that she doesn't have to be identified. And there are reasons for it. There's some very solid reasons for her not being identified. But the lady in question has really fallen on hard times. She's had I think a very big operation recently. She's still bedbound from the big op she had. She's got really bad back problems that she's had operations on. She's got to go back. And all of this has resulted in her lying in bed on her own in a house in Johannesburg and watching all her money go until she got to the point where she realized yesterday or so, she got up and realized, I don't have money to buy food. And she didn't know what to do. And she was very apologetic when I spoke to her this morning and very embarrassed to ask for help. But I heard a genuineness in her voice and a desperation that I think you'll pick up in the voice note. So what I'm hoping we can do is that this lady she needs a bit of food. I told her we can't, this is unsustainable. We can't do this every month. But she said, please, Tom, just to get me through the next week or two. And she's got 3 or 4 little dogs. She's got some little dogs, and she's run out of dog food for the dogs. My heart, I haven't been able to work properly today because when I was chatting with her this morning, my heart broke. Can you imagine you're lying in bed, you're still recovering from an operation. You've got all sorts of problems to deal with. You can't work. Your money's drained out of the bank account. And now your little dogs haven't got dog food. And I thought, you know what? Perhaps we can help this lady. So I'd like to know from you what you think we can do. That's what I'd like to know. What do you think we can do? I mean, last year we helped Tani Mari with, I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 rand. For some food to get through Christmas and have a nice Christmas. And I'm thinking perhaps we can do a similar thing here. I'll reach out to 1 or 2 of my friends and maybe 1 or 2 companies that we work with and see if they'll help a little bit. But we're really not looking for tens of thousands of rands here. We're looking for a couple of thousand rand so that we can help someone just get through this month. And then she's got plans to move to a family. She's got plans. She knows what she needs to do to get things right. But at the moment, she's just out of food and the dogs are out of dog food. And I said, you know what, let's try and help her. So I'd like you to help me, really, and tell me what you think we should do. I know what I think we should do, but I'd like to hear it from you. And let me play this voice note so you can hear this lady who, she's called herself Jill. She is a regular viewer of our show, by the way. She watches all the shows. So that's why I feel personally indebted to say, hey, this is someone who watches, who's part of our shows, who's part of our community, and she needs our help. So this was the voice note I received.
Good morning, Tom. My name is Jill. I'm reaching out to you for some urgent help. I have severe back injuries, and in the near future, I'll have to go for a lumbar fusion. I had recently a hysterectomy as well, which I'm battling to recover from. There are few complications in between. I'm also on a lot of medication right now, and I'm battling to just survive. I am urgently asking if there's any possibility you can just help me, as every little bit helps to get through this difficult time. I would much appreciate any little bit just to get me through, as I'm battling at this moment, to keep up with medical bills and medical help. as I am staying by myself. It's very hard. I would appreciate any little bit of help. Much appreciated. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I really do appreciate it.
And that's the voice note that I wanted to play you. You know, there are times that people get hold of me and they say we need R1 million for this or that. And we can't do it. But every now and then someone gets hold of me and says, I've hit the end and I just need to get over this. You know, I'm going to move to family. I'm going to sell all the stuff I've got. You know, drastic life change coming up for our viewer. And she's just stuck at the moment. Can you imagine lying in bed? You've had a big op, and you know there's no food in the cupboard, and there's no food to feed the dogs. So Margaret says, "Is this Jill Scott correct?" No, it's not. It's not anyone who's ever commented in the comment section before, but she is a regular viewer of the show. And I know that because she's got in contact with me before, not to ask for help, but to talk about, you know, how much she enjoys the show and stuff. So I listened to that, and I spoke to her, and I checked the story out. Just left me feeling incredibly sad because there have been one or two times in my life where I have thought, what am I going to do about food tonight? And it's one of the most horrible feelings a human being can go through. And if we can help someone just a little bit, you know, not even for money, just to buy some food and some dog food so that she can just take a breath and go, okay, I've got food for a couple of weeks and the dogs are fed. That's what I'm hoping we can do. What do you think we should do? What do you suggest we should do, and how much should we aim to raise? I really need your input on this. So if you could just comment in the comment section and tell me, what do you think we can do for our viewer who really just needs some food and some dog food for the next couple of weeks, okay? Obviously, we've got the BackaBuddy account, and I'm thinking that's the way we should do this. And perhaps that's how we should do it. Okay, so let's go through the comments and see what you've got to say and find out what's going on in your world. Let's see what we got here. Uniguida celebrated at Hogshead on Friday the 13th. Oh, you did Valentine's a day early. I've got friends, they did Valentine's a week early. They went out on the Saturday. I was like, where are you going? They said, no, Valentine's. I'm like, it's Valentine's today? They were like, no, it's next week, but we don't want to be involved in all that mess. We're going tonight. I thought, these are very clever people. Anita Mainhart is on board and says, hello, Dysfunctional's family. Carol Hall says, hello, Tom and everyone else. Enjoy today. Tamsin Singh says, I see you Tamsin Singh now. What do we call you, Tammy or Tamsin? Alistair says, notice he skipped the Amanda. Why does everyone think Amanda's a friend of mine? We are friends. I don't know how to keep saying this. We're friends. Friends. Alistair, you're causing trouble for me in that comment section there. Linda says, it's great to be with you from the start of the show. Thank you, Linda. Good to have you with me. You owe Heather a Valentine's rose. I do. I can't remember what I said last week. Did I say something? Nanette is in our prayers, says Margaret. Tamsin says she'll pray for the little girl. I'm so sorry, Annette. Thinking of you all. Anita says, prayers for Nanette's granddaughter. Tom London, how can I help you help people? It's a good question. I mean, at the end of the day, ultimately, you've got to take some food out of the cupboard or some money out of your pocket and give it to someone to really help. What's my favorite movie? Says this is someone on YouTube. Favorite movie? I've got 3 favorite movies. Love Actually, The Commitments, and Meet Joe Black. Those are my 3 favorite movies. Luzanne van Rooyen says, good afternoon, Tom. Anita Maynard says, sadly, no updates from Jennifer. Well, the thing is with Jennifer is they have gone back to normal life. So, a year ago, Jennifer and Jimmy and Jenna Lee and the family only had one thing on their mind, and me too, by the way. We just wanted to get Jenna Lee's back straight, and it was going to take a miracle, and by goodness, we did it. we got Ginalee's back straight, and I kept in touch with them. I still keep in touch with them, but over the next couple of months, and to the point that I saw, okay, well, Ginalee's back to normal. She's back at school, and she's doing well, and everything's good, and she's been a teenager, so, that's good. So there's really nothing to report on Ginalee's side. I mean, as amazing as it sounds, she's fixed. Old Dr. Snickers in Pretoria, he got the screws and the things out, and he fixed her, man. He fixed her. She's upright and she's straight and she's walking and she's at school and everything's good. She's fixed. So the only update we can keep giving is she's fine. But perhaps if you want to chat to Jennifer on a show one of these days, I'm sure she'd chat with us and let us know how she's doing. Charmaine Ninaba says, good afternoon, friends. So good to be on board with you. Thank you for joining us, Charmaine. And thank you to everyone pressing the like and the heart button. Your intuition is talking to you. Excellent. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's just every now and then I see a message come through, and it's just something about that particular message that makes me go, all right, that one. It's most unfair. I mean, I don't know how to even describe it with any fairness, because a lot of messages I don't check, but every now and then, bang, we sort something out. Martin Falkenberg says, how is Dwayne with the bleeding? And the young guy from Far East Rand was in the bike. So Damien, that was in the bike accident, I think he was operated on, and I think he had another operation to go, but his life has drastically improved. I think he's even back at work now. And Dwayne, I think it's an ongoing problem, and the family are still dealing with it, but he's upright. What else we got here? Ginalee's very well. Oh, Alistair's updating. That's nice. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is keeping well. I'm going to have to watch later, says Glenda Lawrence. Thank you, Glenda, and hello later. Collect money through the backer buddy and do the shopping for her. I think that's a good idea. Happy to get some Heritage View dog food from the cat box next week when I get paid and drop it off. Let me know, says Una. Thank you, Una. I will be in touch. I don't know. They're little dogs, so I don't know what they eat. I did see them. They're very sweet. They're little things like that. But I think the dog food is really worrying her. So sorry about your situation, Jill. We'll see what we can do. Tom, can we get a post from you? We'll share all over. What else we got here? Good morning from the land of the long white cloud, says Dawn Solomon. Where's the long white cloud? Is that New Zealand? It is, huh? June Duplessis Grobler says, hi, Tom, you have a good heart to feel for that lady. It's just like, what are you supposed to, when you get a message like that, how can you not go, my goodness, how can we help? Helen says she'll also get some dog food. Which area she is? She's on the East Rand of Johannesburg. So it will be a mission getting there, but I'll chat to the guys from Suzuki Ravonia, and I'm sure they'll help us with a car that we can pack things in, and we'll drive there. Matilda Harris is in bed today, not feeling too well, but loving the show. I spoke to Matilda last week on the phone. It was lovely catching up with her. I'm hoping to see her soon. Rest in peace to Robert Duvall, age 95. He of the Godfather fame. I think he was the cognoscenti to the Godfather. Tom, the Irish chairman, Tom Hagen or something like that. He passed away today, and I see Reverend Jesse Jackson also passed away today, a man who did a lot to assist in liberating this country. Henriette says, ask her to make a list of what she needs. That way we can decide on the amount of money we have to collect, and by doing the shopping and delivery, she won't have to go out and shop when she's ill. That's a good idea. Margaret Guider says, I also like the movie The Commitments. Mustang Salary is the song. Mustang Salary. Torsdale Fox is recovering from COVID. Sorry about that. Charmaine says, life is so hard. Some people let us reach out in love. Hi, Tom, says Natasha Morrissey. Hello, Natasha. Thanks for joining. Ginaleee is in love already, it seems. Very happy looking on Facebook, says Margaret Guider. And maybe some 60/60 food vouchers, and you can take her shopping, says Anita. Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, yeah, I'm thinking a similar kind of thing to what we did for Tanimari last year. We raise a bit of money, and we go along and drop off some gift vouchers, and you come along with me for the ride on video, and we can all feel good about the little bit that we contribute. So I will contribute. I'll contribute. I haven't got a lot of money in my pocket at the moment, but I'll contribute a couple of $100 to this. And if we all just did that, $50, $100, $200, whatever you can afford, if you can contribute, I think we can make a big difference in this lady's life and just help her get over this hump, and she can get out of the place she's staying and move to her family and start again, really. So you know that we've got the Weekly Wish BackaBuddy page. You'll find that if you just go to Google and search for Weekly Wish BackaBuddy, you'll arrive at this page, and then you'll see we've had, I think, 23 people donate to it. Alistair Jameson started this campaign a year ago, and you can see the donations we've had. And you can see the last donation we had was on the 2nd of September. That's when I asked for a little bit of money for Tani Mari. And there was, I think, 1,000 or 2 left in the account or something like that. And we took some of that money, and we took some of the money that was donated, and we went and gave Tani Mari vouchers and money to go buy food. So I'm hoping we can do the same thing here. And if you're in a position to assist, please could you? This is someone quite close to us. This is someone who watches all the shows and knows everyone by name. And when we were chatting this morning, she was talking about the people who comment in the comment section. And so your names came up, and we had a great conversation about that. But I could just hear the fear in her voice. And I genuinely think this is someone that could do with a bit of our help. So there have been a number of people who said they'll assist with dog food, which is very kind. Thank you very much. I'll be in touch with you individually and see what we can organize. Because perhaps you'd like to buy the dog food, and then I'll take it through for you or something. But what I think we need is to get a bit of money into our BackaBuddy account. Now, last year, when you see that amount, 18,650, that's the total that we raised the whole year last year. It's not a huge amount of money, but it changed a few people's lives for the better. When December came and Tani Mari needed help, that was it. We took what was left in the BackaBuddy account out, and we gave it to her. So the balance there it's not zero, but it's pretty close to zero at the moment. So when you see 18,650, don't think, oh, there's almost 20 grand there. We don't need to put money in because there is money and Tom can use that. That is the total that's been raised, and it doesn't take into account what's been spent. I think Alistair's got a better handle of what's left in the account. He can update us in the comment section below this video, but I think it's under 1,000 rand or something. So there's not much in there. So we need to just replenish it. We need to put a bit of money in so we can help. So if you could go to BackaBuddy, if you haven't got, that's fine. Then just offer prayers and good wishes. But if you are in a position where you can donate 100 rand or 200 rand or 50 rand, whatever it might be, 20 rand, if you can donate anything, I think it will help in this case. We're not trying to find hundreds of thousands of rands for a major operation here. We're just trying to help someone who is really in need and very desperate at the moment. So yeah, my plea for you to you today is to go to the Weekly Wish BackaBuddy. All you do is just go to Google, search for Weekly Wish BackaBuddy, and this page will come up as your first option. And then you can just go along to that, and you see if we press this button and say donate, it's quite an easy process. You just say you want a once-off donation, for example, and then you can put your amount in. If you want, you can put your name in, and obviously your details go in there. It's a very secure platform, so you won't have any problems donating. And we use BackaBuddy because it's trusted, and I don't think we have a fee on that, if I'm not mistaken. I think that we've got a 0% fee on it, but if you want, you can give an extra % or two to BackaBuddy. I think that slider is there as an option, but I think we've got a 0 fee account on that. We'll see if Alistair can update us with what's happening with BackaBuddy. But I think we're going to need about 2,000 or 3,000 rand just to help Jill out. So, if you're able to, please go along to the BackaBuddy account and put a few rands in, and then you will be one of the people that assists Jill and helps her with some food and some dog food. We get her through this rough patch that she's busy going through. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk to you about today, and thank you. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening, and thanks for your support. Heather says, I can so relate to Jill. I had to give up my flat, move in with my kids, sold everything I had. You see, it's a very similar position. We had a problem with my son's unemployment. Thankfully, found a job, but too late for Christmas, to the fact that 2 grandsons got nothing for Santa. That's very sad. I know life is tough for a lot of people at the moment. I mean, a lot of us are in a similar boat where we're just pushing, By the grace of God, we'll see what we can do for Jill, says Margaret. Henriette says there's a fee of 30 Rand. I think there normally is, Henriette, but I seem to remember Alistair telling me that they zero-rated our account. And I'm looking at the donate button here, and I think you can actually decide what you want the fee to be. You can make it 12%, or you can bring it all down to 0, I think. There's a slider there. And you can remain anonymous, or you can put your name there. So just ask Alistair what the fee is and what's left in the account. Alistair might be offline now because he's got internet problems, but I'm sure he'll update us in the comment section a little bit later on. Margaret Guida says, sorry about your situation, Jill. We'll see what we can do. Tom, can we get a post from you and we'll share it all over? Yeah, I'll make a separate post on my Facebook page, and then perhaps we can take it from there. So I'll be pushing this over the next 3-4 days and try and get a little bit of money in and see what we can do. And then I'll ask Greg and the guys at Suzuki Rivonia if we can use one of the cars, and if we got dog food to pack in the back or something, we can do that, and we'll go for a drive and video it and just go and do a good deed together like we did last year with Tani Mari. So yeah, if you can, please look for Weekly Wish Back a Buddy on Google. Go to the page and donate a few rands. It will be greatly appreciated. Okay, so what did you do? I mean, no one did anything on Valentine's Day. Everyone that watches the show went to bed early on Saturday the 14th. I can't point fingers because I actually got up on Saturday and I didn't know it was Valentine's Day. I'd forgotten. And I went out to the shops and I came back, and then Barry, my landlord, I walked past him and he said, "Hi, Tom, what are you doing for Valentine's Day?" And I went, "When's Valentine's Day?" And he laughed. He said, "It's today." And I thought, oh, I'm doing nothing. I'm doing nothing. I've got no plans. I've got no girlfriend. I'm doing nothing on Valentine's Day. And then about 9 o'clock at night, I started getting a bit antsy. I was like, oh, man. This is not good, doing nothing for Valentine's Day. 9 o'clock at night, there's no one you can call and say, would you like to go for dinner or something? You're on your ace put. So I was stuck still alleen op 'n Saterdag aand there at my house, and I thought, well, how am I going to celebrate Valentine's Day? I thought, you know what, Tom? You're going to take yourself out on a Valentine's date. And I thought, where do you want to go? Where would be your ideal place to go right now? And then my brain said, the bathroom, the bath. Go have a nice bath, man. And I thought, oh, that doesn't sound too bad. I enjoy baths, so maybe I'll do a bath, a nice hot bath for Valentine's Day. No, maybe I need some music. So I thought, well, what could I play in the background? And James Blunt, Back to Bedlam, the album from 2007 or whatever it was, with You're Beautiful on it. I like that album. I haven't listened to it in a long time. And I thought, maybe I should play that in the background. So I put that on in the background, and then I got a candle, and I put the candle in the bathroom. I lit the candle. I got some incense. I lit the incense. And you know what? I had the best Valentine's night I've had in many, many years on my own. Oh, you woke up, China. It's about time. Yeah. And so I didn't go anywhere on Valentine's night. I can't point fingers at you if you didn't. I just went and had a bath. Oh, is it? Now you're awake. Yeah, that's what I did. So, yeah, I just did... I just had a bath. And then, but the sad part is, it was very nice. I lay in the bath and I listened to James Blunt playing in the background, and you're beautiful, you're beautiful. It's true. I was like, this is lovely. And I got out the bath and it was fantastic. And I went to, dried off, and I put some pajamas on. And then the sad part was when I had to go back into the bathroom and blow the candle out.
Thank you very much.
I was like, that was it. That was Valentine's night. 2026. I hope yours was more romantic. I hope yours was better. But the most exciting thing that happened to me in the last week was watching is anyone watching the Winter Olympics? I don't know if South Africans watch the Winter Olympics, but I really wanted to. I love figure skating. there are only two sports I really watch. It's Formula One, well, three. Formula One, gymnastics, figure skating. I enjoy watching people doing things that I could never possibly do. I mean, standing upright is enough of a challenge for me. Having to do a flick-flack and a quadruple spin or whatever. No, it's a triple axel, no ways. So I really do admire people who can do it. And wow. This year at the Winter Olympics, there was drama. Now, if you didn't watch it, that's fine. I'm going to show you the drama. Because for Winter Olympians, this is like people who love figure skating. This was a big, big deal what happened in the men's free skate. Now, you got two programs. You got the short program and you got the free skate. Short program is short. It is exactly what they say it is. And it includes a number of jumps, number of spins, and then there's an artistic score that gets put on top of it. And they take the top people from the free skate results, and the top people go off a day or two later, and they from the short program rather, and then they go and do the free skate. That's where you get to really show off, and you've got 3 minutes or so, and you've got your music, and you've got all your routines, and it really is great. And the best male, because the women start skating tonight. It's one of the only sports where the women are more popular than the men. It's a great sport because of that. You know, normally you find like the men's events have more viewers, whatever, but in figure skating, everyone loves watching the women. But the men are also, you know, right up there, and they watched and respected and stuff. So I watch all of it. And there's a guy called Ilian Malinen, who is an American skater, who is by far the best in the world. I think there was no competition in the short program. He aced that. He's one of the first skaters, if not the only skater, to ever do a quadruple axel, a quad axel, which is 4.5 turns actually, because you got to land backwards. You leave forward and then you land backwards. So it's a 4.5 revolutions in the air coming off the front foot. Never been done before. This guy can do it. He also does flips on the ice, front flips and back flips, and it's just like this guy is on another level. And so everyone's been watching the Olympic figure skating thinking, we really want to get to because they put the best people at the end, we really want to get to the end because we want to watch Ilian Malinen just crush the competition. And that's what everybody expected. But then there was this guy called Mikhail Shodorov from Kazakhstan, and he has been doing quite well lately. He won the European Championship. He's the Kazakh champion. I think he's ranked about 3rd or 4th in the world, but he's very under the radar. And so nobody was really expecting this guy to do much. Maybe a bronze medal, maybe, but the competition from Japan was so strong, and like no one was thinking that this can go further than like bronze. But he skated a perfect routine. So I'm just going to play you his routine so you can see just how beautifully this guy skated. I hope you're interested in this kind of stuff. Otherwise, I've lost you. But here we go. Here's Mikhail Shodorov. Oh, no, that's not. That's Cheapers. It's this one here. Watch him. My goodness. You watch the spins and the jumps. Just perfection, man. Beautiful. And so he skated a perfect routine, and he was probably 7th or 8th last to skate, and the big guns were coming next, and he got a really good score. And then the Japanese guys who were supposed to crush him came out, and they were bad. They fell and toppled over, and you know. And then out came Ilian Malinen, and everyone was like, well, here we go. Ilian Malinen is going to crush the opposition. And he messed up. This is what happened. Look at this. Here it comes. It's coming. I promise you. Here it is. Bang. On his backside. And then you might be able to recover from that, but bang, he did it again. And he went from number 1 to 8th place out of the medals. And as this was all happening, Mikhail Shodorov was going up the rankings, you know, the results, and then he landed up winning the gold medal. So I don't, these are things that keep me interested, and I find this very dramatic. I thought that was brilliant. So I just like to say well done, Mikhail Shadorov. And if you're interested in figure skating and you want to watch the women's shorts and the women's free skating, just go to YouTube. The ISU, the International Skating Union, put the live feed up on YouTube. So you don't have to, rent DSTV or anything. You just go to YouTube. It will be on tonight sometime. And honestly, you can spend hours watching it and just enjoy everything. So yeah, that's my suggestion to you. That's what happened in the men's. Want to see what happens in the women's, but they start skating tonight. So yeah, well done, Mikhail Shadorov, and Kazakhstan winning a gold medal. I think we've got 1 or 2 competitors in the Winter Olympics. There's a young lady who does figure skating who represented us quite well. Recently in the World Championships or the European Championships, whatever it was, the recent competition. So yeah, we actually, despite our climate, we've got 1 or 2 Winter Olympians that we send over. Alistair Jameson, it's the solar eclipse, says Stella, that's causing the trouble. Stella says, hello everybody. Hello Stella. Alistair's got some info now. The Weekly Wish Backer Buddy is an open-ended campaign that had been partly sponsored by Backer Buddy themselves, so charges are very low. We greatly appreciate the concession from them in that. As for the balance in the account, at the moment we've got $940. Okay, so I thought it was around $1,000. I was right. We can use some of that, but it would be nice to get a little bit of money in so we can help Chill. Valentine's Day is so overrated. Everything is so expensive. We need to show.
Thank you very much.
We need to show our love to our loved ones every day. Nope. Oh, everyone's in the same boat here. Nope. Valentine's Day is just money making crap. Shaman Ninaba says, "Oh, shame, so we really need to get hooked up with a nice girl." Come on, man. Do you know? I've had that thought for a while. I need to find a girlfriend, but recently I've been enjoying work so much. I never thought I'd say this because I've always not really liked work. But recently I've been enjoying work so much that I find myself working 18 hours a day and having a blast. And the other night I was sitting thinking, have you got space for a girlfriend in your life at the moment? And the answer is no. So I'm actually quite happy. I got my 2 birds. I got my nice little place I stay in. And I get to have a nice hot bath whenever I want to. No one drains the geyser. That's always a problem when you live in a house with more than one person. You could just land up being second in line for the geyser. And then you got to wait an hour or 2. I don't have those problems in my life, so I'm actually quite enjoying being single. Mick Diedrich says, I had such a relaxing day on my own at home. It was lovely. That's what I did, and it was lovely. Helen says, you're so funny, but good for you. You got to come clean on what you did. Maybe you also had a bath and blew out the candle. Carol says, I didn't do anything either. Yes, I do think we should love each other all year round, help each other and be kind. Stayed at home and watched movies. We'll DM you. Thank you, Carol. I'll look out for your message. Anita says, Alistair Jameson, everyone says Valentine's Day is crap. Heather Knickelbein says, I was having fun with my friends in Uitenhage, had a few glasses of wine with them. We had a very enjoyable evening, enough said about it. Nice. Well done. Went to watch it, but no DSTV, no idea where to stream it from. YouTube, just go to YouTube. It's there. Yes, I'm loving the Olympics, says Stella. Amazing talent. Oh, that's nice. I'm not the only one watching. Henriette says, yeah, sorry, I didn't see the slider regarding the fee to Backer Buddy. Yeah, I think you can make it 0 if you want on our account. Alistair has put the address for Backer Buddy to contribute. Brunel says, for Valentine's Day, I brought 2 cupcakes and gave them to 2 of my friends. That's very nice. Were you all in bed at the same time, or where did this... where did this happen? It's all in those leotards, Tom London says, Alistair. Yvonne says, that's amazing. Tom, we have the same neck cross. Oh, really? I got mine at the little jewelry shop in Randridge Mall. And I wanted a silver one. And I got exactly what I wanted. Anita says she loves the figure skating. The Russians are amazing with their figure skating, says Margaret. All those Eastern Bloc countries, very good. Japanese, very good. Where can you watch ice hockey, asks Una. That would also be Winter Olympics. YouTube. I'm telling you, I'm sure it's all on YouTube. Yvonne says, I love skating. I can't skate. I have tried. I've had a number of girlfriends take me over there. Come on, I'll teach you. And then you got to go you get the bars like the kids, and the next thing you hang. Oh, I can't do that. Many years ago, Virgin Mobile paid me when I was working at 702. They paid me, I think, 6,000 Rand a day to stand. They built a temporary ice rink in Mandela Square, and people could come in and skate for free. It was their promotion, and they paid me to stand in the middle of the ice rink and give things away and encourage people and stuff. It was a whole day's work. And I thought, well, for $6,000 a day, I think that was my whole salary at 702 at the time, I'll do a weekend. What I didn't work out was that I can't skate, so I couldn't put skates on. That wasn't going to help. I had to stand there with my shoes. Do you know how cold your feet get after two or 3 hours standing on ice? They freeze. So my only ice skating experience is standing on an ice skating rink, temporary one, at Nelson Mandela Square, freezing my feet off. And it was the most amazing thing. I would never try figure skating or ice skating or whatever you call it, because I just wouldn't want to get injured. There were people coming up to me all day, like the whole day. 2 days I did this. Every day, every 10 minutes or so, someone would come up and go, excuse me, where are the medics? And I'd go, oh, they're over there. What's wrong? And then they'd hold their hand up and their finger would be pointing backwards in the wrong direction. And someone run over someone's fingers with the skates. And it's just a nightmare. Very dangerous places for people that don't know what they're doing. Ice skating rinks. Helen says, I love figure skating. Grew up watching Torval and Dean. Yeah, I think the pairs is happened already, and you can find that content on YouTube. Eunice says we have 4 in our team in total. Okay, 4. Wow, that's nice. I've been watching Ian Van Memeti's weekly program. I'm totally interested in his program. It's thanks to you bringing it up, says Heather. Yeah, I had to think about that. I had a good think about that, because I was 2 heartbeats away from getting hold of Ian and saying, come on the show. And then I thought, no. And I know I spoke to you about it, and I know I said I'll do it, but I changed my mind, and I want to tell you why I changed my mind. I can't judge what Ian is up to. It doesn't sit well with me, I must be honest, especially if you've got kids and you've got family and you're healthy. I'm pretty callous that way. I'm like, hey, we've all got money issues and we've all got worries about our future. We all don't want to grow old and wither away. I mean, nothing unusual about that. Me personally, I'll probably just lie on my sickbed until I expire, and I'll go for the ride. I'm not scared of that. But some people don't want to go down that road and they want to check out early or whatever. And, that's financial, and those worries, I guess, are Ian's. But I can't personally, and it's not a judgmental thing. Personally, I can't stand behind that. And I also worry very much about talking about self-deliverance on an online platform. Because there may be someone out there who is thinking about checking out, but they're not going to, or, they're a step or two away from it, and then they watch my program and they do. And that would worry me. That would sit on my conscience. And I think that the safer thing to do, because there are all sorts of rules, by the way, when it comes to this on Facebook. I can't mention the word, the S word. I can't mention it. And if you promote it in any way, you're in trouble. That will be the end of my Facebook page. So I think in the interests of keeping my page and also not dealing with a topic that could be misconstrued and someone could watch it and land up doing something that is actually my responsibility or I've played a part in, I thought I'd actually rather not. But so I changed my mind. But yeah, you can go to Ian's page and look at all these episodes and see what he's talking about. I've got no problem when someone is deathly ill or the end is coming or it's going to come, go off to Switzerland and drink the cool drink. But I do have a problem with doing that when you're physically healthy. If your only problem is money, well, we all climb those hills. So I don't understand it. I can't endorse it, and I don't want to stand behind it. I don't want to stop him, stand in his way, but I don't want to stand behind it. So I made a decision not to do that interview. What we will do, by the way, talking about interviews, John Burks' son, Lance Burks, who lives in America, I think he lives in New York, and I have been chatting. And he said to me a week or two ago, Tom, would you ever want to do a show where we talk about my dad? And John Burks was a radio hero of mine. And I would love to do a show where we talk about John Burks, the man, and not the radio man. You know him, and I mostly knew him as the radio man, but I was lucky enough to sit with John in his house, and I was lucky enough to go out with him and have drinks with him and meet up with him. He was very, very, very kind to me. And I saw a man behind the microphone that was just a remarkable human being. And I think it could be quite interesting to say, all right, let's get Lance Burks, John's son, on board and say, well, tell us your story. Tell us about John Burks according to you. And maybe we'll learn some things or find out some things that we never even knew, and maybe they'll blow our mind. So I've said yes to that interview, and any day now, I'll confirm it. And Lance Burks, John Burks' son, will join us. So we'll talk about John. We'll honor John, not as a radio man, but as a human being. With your permission, would you like that? Right, what do we got here? We got so many options for Tom. Amanda, just stop it, Alistair. You don't understand what kind of trouble you're going to get me into. Every man needs a woman in his life. What's wrong with you?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's a very good question. I'm going to be very honest with you, Yvonne. I'm not going to lie at all. I'm not even going to try and hide anything. I'm going to be very, very, very honest with you in answering this question. I loved and do love the idea of being in love and being in a relationship, and I love love. One of my favorite movies is Love Actually, so I'm a really soppy guy when it comes to love. And I spent most of my life needing to be in a relationship where I could love someone. They would love me in return. I love that. I really do. I haven't changed. That hasn't changed. That will never change. But a few years ago, 2 or 3 of my friends said to me, and they were right. They said to me when I wasn't dating anyone, and I was talking about, I think I even did it on the show many times. I'm like, this is pathetic. I need a girlfriend. And a couple of my friends said to me, you've got a very overwhelming need to be in love. Do you know that? And then I thought about it. I thought, well, this has been plaguing me my whole life. Wanting to be in love. And I had a friend who was a psychologist, and she said the same thing to me once. She said, you need to address this need you've got where you need to be in love. And it's funny, the last 2 years I've been single, I've been on my own, I haven't had a girlfriend, and I've been living alone for the first time in my life. And at first it was uncomfortable, but now I'm kind of getting used to it, and I quite enjoy my own space and my own time. But I realized probably end of last year sometime, and it's been a recurring thought, that I need to get myself happy. I need to put myself in a home and a situation that I'm happy in. I need to make sure that everything around me and me is fine. And then love can come later. And I'm more desperate now to build a nice business than I am to be in love. Which is very weird, because for me, even when I've built businesses or been in radio or done, these things, being in love and love was always above it. And now that I don't have a partner in my life, I'm like, you know what? This isn't too bad. I think I'll take a breather for a couple of years and I'll build a business where I can really just focus on that and not be distracted, because I get distracted by love very easily. So I'm just going to build a business and let's go down that road for a while. And I'm enjoying it. So I agree that we all need someone in our life. Ideally, that's what you want, is a really nice partner in your life that you can love and they love you and you can be in love with. But at the moment, I've decided no. At the moment, I'm focused on the studios. I'm focused on my clients, the work I want to do, the business I want to build, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. I don't want the distraction of love right now, but I leave the door open to it in the future. And I hope that some very nice lady will fall in love with me one day. So, I don't know. That's what's wrong with me. Nikki Hart says, my signal is driving me nuts. Managed to get on your back, buddy, though. Thank you, Nikki. I'm really pleased to know you're happy, Tom, says Margaret. I am. Ooh, I was going to propose to you, says Marie Gillett. Really? See, there's got 4 laughing faces after that. I can't take you seriously. Alistair says the first donation to Weekly Wishes in. Thank you very much. Hi, I did ice skating, but did the jumping over barrels at speed, says Matilda Harris. You're very brave. I can't do stuff like that. I think you're right, Tom. Best decision, says Helen Midfach. I love the speed skating racing. Those skates are razor sharp and long. Wise decision, Tom, says Glynis. Yes, Tom, I agree with you about Ian. You are wise. Oh, you're talking about Ian? Yeah. Man, listen. You know, as a media practitioner, I know that if I put him on, we'll get views. So, a week later, it'll be like, oh, wow, look how many views we got on that show. But you know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about a 19-year-old that says, there's nothing left to live for. And we all know if you're 19, there's a lot left to live for. And I know when I was 19, I think I was very depressed at around 19 years old. And at 27, I was at my lowest. I'd worked on radio. I found myself out of radio. Next thing, I was living with my folks in Pietermaritzburg after this big radio career I'd had for a couple of years. And I didn't know what to do. I seriously contemplated checking out. And I'm glad I didn't, I'm glad that at the age of 27, I turned my car around that night. And I drove home instead of doing what I was planning to do. And I'm glad that I didn't. And my life has been so rich. I'm not talking about money only or money. I'm talking about the experiences I've had. And last year when I landed up in hospital and I almost died. And when you almost die and the only thing you want to do is live, I realized this thing called life is so precious. And so I would hate to run something on my program where someone who's 27 years old or 19 years old feels validated and they go and they end it all. That would be a very, very difficult thing for me to live with. I don't have gambling ads on the show. I don't have alcohol ads on the show for those reasons. And I just think that although it would be a very interesting interview and we'd definitely get views and it would be good for me, the channel at least, I'm not sure it would be good for everyone who watches it. And that's my departure point. So, unfortunately, I know I said we would, but I'm not going to. Mandy says, good call on not doing it. That kind of act for a healthy man doesn't need... See, I think so. I think if you're healthy, I don't understand it. I think the show about John Burks would be amazing, says Alistair. Great. Would love a John Burks show. What a fabulous radio personality, says Mandy. Margaret Guider says, I agree with you on your take about Ian. I think I understand completely what you're saying. Thank you. I would love to hear more about John Burks via his son, Lance. I mean, this is something that I'll just give you a quick insight, right? When I listened to Burks on the radio, he was larger than life. He was a showman, man. And I couldn't wait to meet him. And eventually the day came when I was working on talk radio that I got to meet him. And he was a very different character in amongst, in a crowd. He was quite shy. And I could identify that because there are moments because there are moments where I'm shy. But the biggest thing for me about John that really got my respect was I didn't know until I met him that John raised his 2 children on his own from babies. We had this thing of, this image of this guy who was gallivanting around town, and I'm sure he did do a couple of spectacular things, but, for the most part, at the end of a radio show, John Burks would drive home to his children, and we didn't know about it when we listened to the radio. So there are all these little nuggets about the man that we never really got to know through broadcasting, but we could find out via his son. So I'd love to have Lance on soon. So everyone's saying yes, love to meet Lance on air. Helen says, I think I have the same condition, but happy single. Yeah. Bridget from Wissenhof Coffee. Kubis!
Thank you very much.
You know, when I drink this coffee,
I feel good.
the caffeine in my bloodstream is brought to you by Wissenhof. Mick says, so true. Love can come later. I'm looking at Ulrika. I think she's ready to go. Are you ready to go? Not yet. Okay. Good idea. Focus on you. Profound expression of that feeling. Well done, Tom. Good on you, Tom. I'm getting a lot of praise here today. I wouldn't watch that show for medical reasons. You see, that's what I'm talking about. I think I'm with you, Marlene. There's nothing wrong with Tom being single. This is all in capital letters. He's looking mighty fine. You've got your priorities right, Tom. That's the way. I agree, Tom. Relationships aren't the same anymore. Yeah, I fall in love so quickly. That's the problem. Someone says, I like you. I go, I love you. They go, I love you. I go, I marry you. That's how quickly things work for me. So I got to be careful, and I'm just taking very careful steps at the moment. I don't know where we'd all be if you, Tom, had left us last year. So glad we were all able to assist him. You saved my life. Every one of my friends wants to get me involved with another man. No, thank you. I had my husband. I don't want to be involved with anyone. I'm too independent now. It does get lonely at times, but my decision has been made. This has always fascinated me. I've watched men, when they lose a wife, they rush off and they go get another girlfriend or wife. It looks like men, particularly men, after losing a spouse, there's a very big hole that they need to fill. But women seem to be a bit better at going, I've had the love of my life, and now I'm going to focus on me, and the last part of my life is going to be doing the things I like and I suppose in some level of comfort where you feel a bit comfortable about it all. So I understand that. I admire people who can do that. I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Dolly Parton. It was someone, one of the famous actors or something. She'd had a wonderful relationship and marriage for decades, and her partner passed away. And they said, are you looking for love again? And she said, no, I've had the love of my life. And I think, wow, there's something so profound in that. In this world where everything is so quick and takeaway nowadays, to be able to say, I've had the love of my life. I've experienced the love of my life. Nothing's going to compare. And I'm okay with me now. I really admire that in people. But I also understand the need for company. So, yeah, different strokes for different boats. Barbara Anglaus says, hi, Tom and all. Sorry I missed the show live today. We'll watch shortly. Good. Most radio presenters are introverted and not social beings as a rule. Well, Helen knows this because every now and then Helen invites me to come and join other radio broadcasters, and I don't go because it's my shyness coming out. I must be honest. Very often. Sometimes it's just a clash in diaries, but sometimes I don't go places because I'm actually quite shy. And so, yeah, I know how to perform and I know how to get on a stage. I know how to make a big noise. But very often if you put me in a crowd, I'm a very shy guy. You got something. You're right there, Helen. A lot of radio people are not extroverts in the outside world. Love will find you when you're not looking, says Maddie. Nothing wrong with being comfortable in your own company. I have a husband and kids. I love my own space when I get to be alone. Heather, my friend, how did my name come into the Valentine's chat you had with Tom? I was pushing my shopping trolley around and feeling very unvalentine-like. You're naughty, kiddo. I don't know. I can't keep up with that conversation. Mandy said, I would also never marry again. Oh, who do I owe a rose to? And when did I promise someone a rose? I can't remember that. Hey, I saved a video for you. Do you remember a couple of years ago, there was a video on the internet? It was a guy in a 1400 bucky in Brakpan that was busy pulling his big palm tree down. Well, there's another one. And these poor guys that are holding onto the rope think that if they pull hard, it's going to make a difference. But you can tell from this that nothing's going to happen. So let me show you this quickly because this is quite funny, actually. Right, you ready? Here we go. Let me just stop that there. You know these signs you see on the robots that say tree fella and then 082 in handwriting? I think they went to one of those guys. Here we go. Here we go. Now, I don't know where that happened, but it happened somewhere in South Africa in the last week. And that person is now looking, hey, man, enough, eh? My nerves can't handle it. Jeepers. Okay. So, I don't know. I saw that. I thought it was funny. I wanted to show you. Agreed, Mandy, your own space is very important. Well, some people have pressed the heart button, some have pressed the like button, some have pressed the ha-ha button. We haven't made anyone cry. Thank you very much for joining me on the show today.
Thank you very much.
If you're able to, type in Weekly Wish, back a buddy, go to our Weekly Wish page. We got $960 in it. I know donations just come through. We'd love to see another donation or two come in there. So if you are able to contribute, no matter what it is, if it's $50, we'll take it because that will buy some dog food. So if you're able to donate to Back a Buddy, please do go to that page and drop a few rands in there, and we'll make a big deal of getting some help to Jill, who is really in a bad state at the moment. And really, that was the big thing I wanted to do on the show today. I think we need to get back into the helping spirit and seeing whose lives we can turn around and who we can help. We've had a bit of a break for a month or two, but let's get back into the swing of things, Tom's Army. I'm sure we can help, right? Is there anything else I had on my mind today? There was something, but I can't remember what it was. There was one more thing I wanted to show you, but I've forgotten. I'll have to show you next on Thursday. Ooh, by the way, by Thursday, we might have a new background. That's exciting stuff. We might have a new background. I think tomorrow gets dropped off, and then we got a new backdrop. So the show branding's coming along, and there's more coming. There's another wall on the other side coming. We'll bring the guests in, start bringing people live into studio. It's going to be fun. Lots going to happen over the next month or two. Freedom Foundation content is coming up, I think, next week. We record the first podcasts. We'll have the budget reaction speech. We'll have the introduction to Leon Lowe and his book. And then we're going to have some very powerful guests on that show. So look out for that. That will also be on the Tom London Show page and my Facebook page. And that's my news at the moment. My flight, my stories 8. Please pray for Nanette, Annette's granddaughter who's not well. Please pray for Jill. If you're not able to contribute, send good wishes or prayers. But if you are able to, Weekly Wish at Back a Buddy is the account that you can use. And we're transparent about it. We'll tell you, there's $960 in there. Another 2,000 came in. We're taking 2,000 out. And we'll, as we go along, we always tell you. And that's it. I think that's it. Done. Go have a lovely Tuesday afternoon. The weather's great in Joburg. I don't know what it's like in your part of the world. In New Zealand, it's probably cloudy. But here it's a beautiful afternoon in the city of gold. And I hope that it's beautiful wherever you are. And I hope that people are treating you beautifully. And when you look in the mirror, you feel beautiful. And that you have love in your heart. And if you don't have anyone in your life like me, and you're quite happy in your own company, like me, or with your own company, then you've got friends in this comment section, and you got me. I'm a friend too.
Thank you very much
for watching the show. This show was brought to you by Suzuki Rivonia, the home of happy customers.